What do you think? Okay, shh. You're blowing your nose. That's not better than talking,
Sorry.
is it? That's worse than talking.
Too late.
I think talking would have been preferable. Oh.
Spouting Nonsense is brought to you by Comedy Hotspot and is powered by Joe. Titting about in the background is Comedy Hotspot's very own Jim Howard. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hilarious host, the wonderful Kerry Snelms.
Hey! Here we go again for another episode of Spouting Nonsense, and we got these fucking three weirdos back.
Us.
Go on, Jonathan, what?
I said, what happened that they asked us back? I mean, honestly.
It was so hilarious last week. We've got Love Dev back in the room. All right, Love Dev.
Hey!
Hi, Kerry. I'm good. You
You
all
had a
right?
good week?
Yes, I have. Thank you. How about you?
Oh, have you?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you cunt. We've got Jonathan, mate. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello, darling. You all right?
Yeah, have you had a good week, babe?
Well, mixed, love. Mixed. I mean, I'm up and down, honestly. I mean, sometimes it's been lovely, and then sometimes I'm just kind of crazy gay
We
with a bottle of vodka.
You're looking fabulous tonight, and we've got
Thank you.
Hiya!
Hello.
Hi, Harriet.
What the fuck is that on your jumper?
It's a mistake.
Is it?
It's a mistake, dear. It's a mistake.
Dragon?
It's what it is.
A dragon.
Harriet's moved squares.
This attention to detail.
Hello,
Detail. Harriet
David.
moved
Move.
square.
There's trouble in the corner.
We're confusing the viewers already. If you're watching at home, please share the link so we can get more viewers and join in as well. You can live comment. This is Spouting Nonsense, a topical comedy chat show where comics impart their wisdom upon us, or just fucking stupidity if you were with us last year and heard Love Dev's fucking topics.
Last
I'm
year.
the host.
Where's
I'll be
last week?
We're there last year.
So first things first, before we even get started, we've got the three interesting facts about these comedians. You need to guess which one they relate to. I'm going to go for number one first. Who once saw Les Dennis in the street and they gave each other the nod? What's the nod? The nod. Walk past Les Dennis in the street. So is it Love Dev, Jonathan, or Harriet? Now, the next one. Whose habit? Oh, we got them round the wrong way. Who got fired from a job because they directed a cow into their primary school teacher's jeep? Now, could that be Love Dev, Jonathan, or Harriet? And the last one. Whose habits as a teenager were recently the topic of discussion at a top London Masonic Lodge's Ladies' Night? Could it be Love Dev, Jonathan,
This is
or
not hard to
Harriet?
say.
If you're with us, please take your guesses who those relate to. Like I said, you can share the link online and tell us where you're watching from as well, because we've got people watching from all over, which is fantastic. And your comments, Jim, behind the scenes with Comedy Hotspot, he'll be writing the comments up so we can read them. So come and say hi, etc. Right, let's go first into the first topic. And I'm really, really dreading this.
So Love Dev, then.
Go to
Is it
one of Love
mine?
Dev first. I think we're starting off quite all right. If you could talk to one animal, what animal would it be? Love Dev.
Oh,
Is that
Quite
cute,
sweet.
Harriet?
That's
yeah.
quite a nice question. It's quite sweet.
Hi, Rhonda.
From Scotland. Where in
Lovely.
Scotland, Rhonda? Sorry.
That's right. Love Dev. Love Dev. If you could
Yeah.
talk to one animal, what would it be?
Well, with Rhonda's comment coming up, the Loch Ness.
I think it's a unicorn.
Again, there's a big assumption there, isn't there? I mean, you're not going with like a clearly identifiable animal.
I thought you were going to say unicorn. And
Fictional bloody animals.
exactly. Is that what you would have done? Loch Ness.
No, my option was going to be the sloth, but I just seen Ruth's comment come up, so I went, yeah, the Loch Ness. Why not?
Sloth.
You improvise.
A sloth,
Harriet.
yeah.
I think sausage.
I reckon Harriet would be a dinosaur.
I love dinosaurs. The Dilophosaurus, the one that spits the venom.
Nice.
Oh no! You've done your research. I like that. Would it be dinosaur?
Pardon?
Would it be dinosaur?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm
What,
saying
Why
on
not?
what
brand.
would you ask your dinosaur, though? What would you ask them?
I say, come here often.
Not what was it like 65 million years ago?
Nah.
Off and love.
What did you have for tea? Something like that. Just something generic. What's the weather like where you're from?
How's your wife?
Mine would obviously be a unicorn because I like
Obviously.
that. We've gone for
On
3
brand.
things that don't exist. Jonathan, bring us back to normality. What animal
I
would you
don't
talk to?
want this to be my job forever. I can't be the
It's very
normal
scary, isn't it?
one. I'm very upset. I was going to say, I was going for a non-fictional thing. I was going to say something like, you want something with experience that you don't experience, like a whale or an albatross, like somebody who sees the world a completely different way. And I've got all
Jonathan, thank you for keeping
proper.
us grounded.
I don't want to. I want a
Find
dragon
a
now.
whale, Jonathan.
I want a dragon.
If anybody's watching that knows Jonathan, knows he's so flamboyant and so out there. To be one of the normal ones.
Why am I the normal? Why did I get nominated for normal? That's not
I
okay.
don't want
You're
to
normal.
Hi, Zoe. You all right?
Hi, Zoe.
Hello,
Sorry,
Zoe.
darling.
That's great. What animal would you talk to if you're listening? Thanks, love Dev. You've covered that. Sloth. Sloth. Do you relate to a sloth?
Yeah, slow.
Just lazy and
Covered in algae. Yeah.
Are they?
Covered in
Yeah.
algae.
Algae. Sloths have a particular, I was going to say brand. That's not right. A particular variety of algae that grows specifically in their fur. That's why they're often green. And their fur is actually ridged to accommodate the algae or whatever it is, moss.
Do you know what a sloth is?
Yeah, I want to see.
Yeah. I promise that's true. I
think I'll
don't
change
know
my
why
answer.
I know that. I don't know my own postcode, but I do know that.
Fabulous. I was just talking about animals. I held a koala in Australia. What's the STD that they got?
Chlamydia.
Chlamydia. There we go. Fabulous. All these facts, animal facts. Harriet, let's go on to one of your topics. Can someone give me nice recipes? Because I'm feeling
that's going to make it nice.
culinarily bored.
Well, do you know what? I'm all right now. Jim's made me a recipe book. So I've got all this. I've sorted it out. I hope to acquire some recipes because
So you're done. That's not even a topic anymore.
No, I've moved on with my life, and I suggest you do the same.
Yeah. Now, Harriet, normally, what's your go-to signature dish? What's your go-to signature dish?
Oh, wow, this is the problem. No one trusts me to cook for them because years ago I
Define arrested. Carry on.
Yeah, define arrested.
Well, what it was about 10 years ago. Oh, wait a minute. I'd be a car. Oh, no, a cat.
Cat, dear.
Is there anything like mine? Very
Nicole, hello.
So, Harriet, your cooking story?
Oh, yeah. Well, what it was about 10 years ago, I was on dinner date and I didn't cook I didn't cook my chicken and he was ill, very ill. He was bum-weeing the next day. and he couldn't.
Not in a good way.
Exactly.
Not in a good way.
He couldn't go on his final date because he was so ill. And he come round and he goes, "Oh, I didn't know we were having bread rolls. They're my fucking fish cakes and chicken."
Do you know what? I sense that a simple recipe might be best for you. I can teach you a recipe right now that is so simple and it's the best thing ever. It's called Barbados cream. All you need is equal parts plain yogurt, equal parts whipped cream and plain yogurt, and you fold those two together, and then you put a layer of pineapple on the bottom of a bowl. You pour over the cream and yogurt. You put demerara sugar on the top. You put it in the fridge overnight. You leave it. It's amazing. It's amazing. Amazing. Seriously.
What is it?
It's just a pudding. It's just a pudding. It's just like, half plain yogurt, half whipped cream, fold it together, pineapple on the bottom, pour the whipped cream and yogurt on the top, demerara sugar, leave it for 12 hours, die of pleasure.
12 hours?
Well,
She's not going to wait 12 hours.
No, honestly, it's worth it because the Demerara sugar does this sort of syrupy, crunchy thing in the fridge. That's to die for. Leave it, right? And the next day, it's sex in a bowl with pineapple.
If you're watching at home, please share the links. We can get more viewers. Harriet's not too sure about that, is it?
No, I am. I just want to know if it's tinned pineapple or fresh pineapple.
Doesn't matter, actually. It really doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It works perfectly well with tinned, honestly.
Because that's like when I made my fish cakes, they were called Queen of the Sea fish cakes, and he asked what fish it was, and it was tinned sardines.
Yeah. Not really the queen of the sea. That's more the typing pool of the sea, isn't it? Yes, fruit ball, Steve. Fruit ball.
Harriet, so what are you cooking now? What do you cook for your boyfriend or your fiance or not?
Well, I cook for him and the kids. That's why they're
dead.
I was gonna say, and how are they?
They ain't worried about coronavirus. They're worried about you killing them with chicken.
Hello, David. Hi, David. Welcome back. Thank you. More fool you, frankly. More fool you.
So what's your go-to meal for the kids and fiance?
Wow, do you know what there is? There's cheat meals that seem fantastic but are rubbish. And those are, so today I did, you go to, do you reckon someone will shop me for neglect if I say this? So you go to Tesco, you get a tin of those mixed taco beans, and then you put like chilies and that in them, and then you put them on nachos, cheese with guacamole, and I put a bit of that mint rajita from a takeaway the other day.
Rajita!
I'm just really wondering why we've never seen that recipe on MasterChef.
No, amazing.
You will in the future.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Suicide MasterChef.
Sophie wants to see the episode of Dinner Date. Do see it, because Harriet, as you can see, is fucking mental. Can you imagine going on a date with her and then her giving you food poisoning?
I also really like the idea that you're going, oh my God, if I say this recipe out loud, social services might take my children away. Like, if they haven't taken them already, just saying a recipe is going to make any difference.
Jonathan, apart from your Barbados
cream,
what's your go-to meal? What's your signature dish, as they call it in the know?
I tend to roast meat, honestly. I'm very good with meat.
Like a good roasting, dear.
Oh, no, it's true. I'm not a great cook. If you're right on top of me. I tend to cook. I'm all right at following recipes, and I'm okay with things like roasting meat and steak and stuff like that. But if I try and do complex things, sometimes I'm brilliant. And I go, oh, I've made this amazing thing, darling, and he goes, oh, fantastic. And sometimes I go, oh, I've put all these expensive ingredients in, and this becomes grey slop. I'm quite capable of making wallpaper paste out of beautiful things. So I tend to be non-experimental. In the kitchen, boys. In the kitchen.
Obviously, in the kitchen. Love, Deb, what's your signature dish?
It's got to be 2 slices of bread in the toaster. Fry some onions.
Oh, hang on.
You know this. Grab a tin of beans, chuck the beans in, mix it up.
Into the toaster.
You see, no, I thought this was going somewhere. I thought you were going to say, and then you take your desi lamb you've cooked on the bone for 3 days like your grandmother did. But no, it's just baked bloody beans.
Baked beans and toast. A bit of onions in the beans.
I was going to let you have the benefit of the doubt there, love, Dev, and I was like, oh no, he's going somewhere with this. Fry some onions. No. That's fantastic. I'm going to go, Jonathan, let's go on one of your topics.
No, they're terribly dull.
Oh, they are, aren't they? Because you're quite normal. You're quite beige.
Can we start with the bottom one, though? Because I think that's a really important one.
Yeah, but it was yesterday.
I know, but I think we should, I think we should say happy birthday,
Colonel Tom.
Moore.
His birthday was yesterday. He's properly fucking rinsing out this birthday.
Oh my god! I mean, attention, fucking whore.
Yeah,
I mean, people complain about millennials taking selfies, but Jesus Christ, sit down, bitch. We're over it.
Yeah.
No, I think he's great. I also think, I love it because all those people going, oh, we got through the Blitz, we can get through this about Brexit or about whatever, and they're like 50, and you're going, you got through nothing, mate. You got through nothing. This guy got through the Blitz, and he's still bloody going. I think it's incredible. I do think he's absolutely bloody amazing.
He's brilliant, and he's very fucking switched on and compass mentis. What I liked yesterday.
It's not that compass man. He's been walking around his garden for the past 9 weeks. Sit down, love. Please sit down. We're all feeling guilty.
What I did like yesterday. Hang on, I'll read something like. Well, Joe,
Hi,
fried
Joe.
eggs, fried
Stop upstaging us for
on a
talking.
muffin is my favourite from a putty shop. And somebody asked us a question. We'll get that back up in a second. But if you're watching, please share the link. Now, bread and onions, exactly. What I liked yesterday was there was an old lady also turning 100, and they brought her up on screen, and I was like, "Oh, this is great. What have you done?"
Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, you need more now, love. More.
Yeah.
We've moved on.
And I was like,
Not enough. It's like when I was
sorry.
hosting this LGBT thing, and we had Rosie Jones closing, and I said to the audience, "Well, you can't just be gay. You've got to be disabled as well now to close the fucking show." Here she is. And it's a bit. Yeah, no, kidding. It's a bit like that, isn't it? You turned 100. Have you raised 32 million? Have you?
Exactly.
No, you haven't.
No, it's not just turning a certain age. It's how much have you raised for the NHS.
He is
Like
good.
it.
He
If
is
you're watching at home,
He is
please share the
amazing.
link and join us. You can also donate if you can afford to. And
Please
please
let us
comment.
raise 32 million. We'd like to
Yeah.
raise 32 million.
Get there. Yes, it's good.
Because we got 32 quid.
Live comments in because Jim will pop them up. Now I don't know whether I want to do this straight away. It feels like I've not been away from him long enough.
Oh, Helen.
Helen.
This is my friend
If
Helen.
you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends assume you had done? Harriet.
Oh.
Well, once,
It could be anything with Harriet.
Range of fucking
the first thing
options.
is, though, Harriet, the first thing is, if somebody said Harriet's been arrested, we'd all go,
Kidnapped a dog, took him on the waltzers.
it would never be.
well,
No, yeah, no, he's-
once it wasn't full on arrested, it was just put somewhere safe for a bit. It was because I thought the government were after me, and I went on the run, but they weren't after me at all.
Are you
And,
sure? Because they
yeah.
might be, honestly. I mean,
my on the run outfit was a woolly hat, Ozzy Osbourne sunglasses, and a shirt with a frill, because nothing says on the run like an Edwardian ruff.
In that area of your life at that point.
Pardon?
Were there drugs involved?
Oh yeah, always.
oh yeah, look.
Harriet, here we go. Harriet, have you gone all Joe Exotic on us? She's
What's that
commenting on
mean?
Did you miss
jumper.
our week, Deborah, love? She hates it. She hates
Oh,
exotic.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Oh, Steve's
Oh.
advertising for
Cheers,
None of us have got work
Steve,
for
you're
fuck knows
full of-
how long. And look at these.
Steve.
And if you're watching this at home, please share the link and look at these three. Disregard me. Look at these three. These are all full-time comics here. Now, they're not working at the moment, and no way in hell are they going to get work anywhere else.
Anywhere else.
Because you've heard them. If you've watched
Anywhere
last
else.
week, you've seen this.
Yeah.
week. These three are fucking mental, and you don't want them in any place of work. So please donate.
Do you know what I've always thought, right? I've been doing comedy now since 2002-ish, and I always think if I ever had to go back to a proper job interview, I'd sit there and they'd go, so what have you been doing? And I'd be going, well, I've been a stand-up comic. And they go, and how did that go? I'm like, well, I'm here, aren't I? I'd be better off having been in prison for that time, because had I been in prison, I'd have got a lot of cock, I'd be buff, and I'd have an HND and panel beating. So, yeah.
Right, let's return to Love Deb, one of Love Deb's topics.
Which one is it? I'm so excited.
Do dead bugs end up in ceiling light fixtures?
Yeah,
No, they don't go
that
in there.
is one of
Deb.
life's biggest mysteries.
It's
Is it?
Don't you think so? I
No,
see a big
Harriet's got the
ceiling, like a
answer.
round one.
Harriet's got
They're
the
just,
answer.
they're not dead. They don't go in there dead. It's not a
Yeah, they
fucking
do.
graveyard
Yeah,
of
they go there.
bugs.
Yeah, I know that.
It's
But
like
how
the
do they
elephant
end up in
graveyard
there?
in Victorian
It's
fiction.
because it's fucking hot.
It's like it's because it's the light.
There's no way they can get in the light.
It's the light that makes them. No. You know what? No, I refuse to accept it. I think they know they're dying. They know they're dying. So they go to the light. They literally they've watched Poltergeist. You get as a mayfly or a bee. You just go. Everybody else, I'm dying. I'm off to that lampshade over there, where I shall rest.
I'm going to preserve my body in that lampshade.
Exactly. And soon I will be swept up by the great brush of destiny and dumped in the bin of heaven.
Quite poetic and quite emotional. Small holes, just like
small holes.
That's awful.
Oh,
sorry, what was that in reference to? I feel like I've just been sent that randomly. What was small holes just like men in reference to?
Well, the bugs going into lights. Harriet, you going to say something?
Well, I, in fact, had... So what happened was, I don't think it was my fault. The washing machine went wrong, and it flooded down the shop downstairs. And what happened was all the water filled up in one of those lights where all the bugs are.
So they had a little swimming pool.
Yeah. So the whole thing filled up with water and then ripped the ceiling off.
Full of dead bugs.
You think it was like a spa day for them or just a mass drowning?
No, because it was when they were having a spray tan. So it was like all...
Cool.
Awful business.
I love it. Can you imagine what that spray tan will have looked like too if it's been covered
in
I love that.
Right, Harriet, we're going to move on.
A lava lamp.
Harriet, we're going to move on to another of your topics. If you're watching at home, please share the link so we can get more viewers. That would be lovely. And you like, comment as we go along. Right, Harriet.
She's very good, isn't she?
Would you spend the rest of your life? Would you spend the rest of your life in your head for 1,000 pounds a day? No. This is one of the most asked questions. Like coronavirus. This is what they should
came up in
at their 5 p.m. fucking press conference every day. Harriet.
Like an Easter bonnet.
Right, so you couldn't style it. You couldn't like dry it and style it. You have to just like have a live one. Oh my goodness me.
The teacher at school, this guy that lived on the estate by me, he brought a dead squid into school and left it in the toilets of the girls' toilets. And then the teacher come in, slipped on the squid and cracked her head open in the sink.
So from that,
you thought...
Yeah,
you thought if she wore a squid on her head, she would have saved herself.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, we'll go for this one in a minute.
Cologne.
Hey?
Dead or alive?
For the hat or for him?
For the hat.
Right. Do we have to spend our lives with a live squid on our head? Or can we like dry the squid out and shape it into a delightful fascinator? Because that makes a big difference. Because I could see myself with a sort of, encrusted squid, arranged attractively to one side in a sort of ascot fashion. Exactly.
Yeah. Was it Beatrice?
Or do I have to have a live one squirting ink at passers-by?
Was it Beatrice or Eugenie that wore the hat that was like a fucking
squid?
I could definitely do that for £1,000.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I could look like her for £1,000.
Squid face.
Harriet, would you do the squid thing?
Yeah, of course. I'll probably do it.
And Jonathan, you would.
Well, again, if I could arrange the squid into something gorgeous, then yes, of course.
Loved her?
Well, I already look like I got a squid on my face.
I
look like Captain Birdseye.
You look like you're morphing into... Who was that guy in the caftan, the Greek guy in the caftan who sang in the 70s? What was his name?
Joel
You're showing your age.
Oh, yeah, I can't think of his name. Oh, anyway, if you were a mad scientist, what experiment would you do? Ethics and money aside. Fucking hell.
I love how we have to go ethics and money aside, just in case,
If you were a mad scientist, Harriet, what experiment would you do? I'm scared to ask.
instead of a vagina, I'd have a squid.
Demis Roussos. That's what I'm talking about.
Who's Demi Ruse?
Demis Roussos was the Greek guy that I was talking about, who's a singer in a caftan. Constantly in a caftan. Constantly.
What experiment would you do, my love?
It's got to be not immortality. Youth. Something about youth.
Something
Constantly.
about youth.
That makes it sound like I'm going to create myself a youth, doesn't it? I don't want that.
Well, love, Deb?
No, I'm like a daddy.
I would shrink my kids.
Oh God, I wonder where he's going.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I was watching that last night.
For what reason? Just so you could pick them up and put them in a box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing as we're in quarantine,
How many kids do you have? How many do you have?
I've got 2.
Oh, okay. So it's not like an excessive number.
Nah.
You've not gone mad.
Right, Jonathan, we're going to go on to one of your sensible topics.
Oh, sorry. How dull for everybody.
Vanilla. It's got here, under the banner, beige, vanilla, normal, sensible, blur.
I've never been under that banner before, unless it's a fetish thing.
To have good or bad weather in lockdown.
I'm really not struck out on it. I feel bad about this. I should have gone with the eyeball thing. I just think it's been really varied over this week, hasn't it? It's like the sunshine's been out, and then it's been positively cold and wet. And I just wonder because I'm not sure. Sometimes I'm like, oh well, at least the sun's out while we're trapped indoors, and we go to the backyard or whatever. But then I'm thinking, actually, maybe it's better not to miss gorgeous weather. I feel like, because sometimes I'm looking out and going, I want to go out to the seaside, or I want to go and travel and do gorgeous things with the dog, and have a lovely time, and I can't. So maybe wet weather. But then when the wet weather comes, I'm going, oh, isn't it miserable? I'll say
now, the fucking rainy weather I've lost my shit over. At least with the sunshine, I can just sit out in the garden. Like, I get up at 6 with the dogs. I sit out in the garden with the dogs and listen to the birds. And then the rain comes in, and I'm literally stuck in the house.
Yeah,
and if you go out, you're stuck in these supermarket queues now, in the rain. Glorious weather in Poole. Which is good. There's been a lot of rain that year.
Poor Kent.
So you're not sure whether you prefer rainy or sunny. Yeah, exactly.
Still no.
It must be hard for you as well, Karis, because you just fucking come from Australia as well, didn't you? Not long ago. Then you were launched into quarantine.
Yeah, straight from Australia.
Did you do Perth or something? Did you do the festival?
Yeah, I was due out there for 3 months, so I should just be coming back now. And instead, I had to come back 6 weeks early. But the worst thing was,
your
my
prison
son
bed.
had come out for a once-in-a-lifetime trip for 2 weeks. He arrived the day the airport started to shut. So he had travelled 24 hours. He had 24 hours in Australia, and then we had to travel 24 hours back.
To be fair, that might be a once-in-a-lifetime trip. I mean, you're not going to do that again, are you?
No.
Either you're never going to get to go to Australia again because we're all doomed, or if you do, you might spend longer while you're there. So either way, he's had a unique experience.
Exactly. Dark and grey London. So, Harriet, sunny weather or
about London, obviously.
Sunny, because I found a right good walk. So I've been. Well, yesterday it wasn't very good weather, so I wore my coat. Spent a lot of money on it. Right, a lovely coat.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, was it velvet?
Velvet coat
or suede?
It was just a camouflage. Coat.
A camouflage velvet coat. A velvet camouflage.
Velvet.
And you said yes. No, no way.
And this fucking old pair of daft bastards, right, were walking around.
Velvet camouflage. I've never seen that.
Chanel. They were walking the wrong way round the route, and then we had to keep moving in so they could come past. I fucking moved in, and I got stuck on a fucking barbed wire fence. And
in your velvet camouflage.
Probably didn't see you coming, Harriet.
I bet the people you were walking with just thought for a momentary second, they're like, should we leave her?
also, wait. You went the wrong way around the walk. Are you like Midnight Express? There's only one way to go. You've got like a one-way sign thing on.
Well,
Like
Jonathan,
IKEA.
look what happens when people go the wrong way.
People's film camouflage gets ruined.
Love, Dev. So
I prefer good weather, but I don't mind the bad weather at the moment because it's good for the grass. So.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, that's very selfless of you. Kindly fuck
I
off.
will just drop a clanger. There's Rita Ora walking round where I live at the moment.
So you finally stalked the fuck out of her then? Or is that not your
5 minutes
photograph?
down the road from me. We had lovely weather this afternoon. But that's what
Are you
she
best
wears.
friends? Are you now
That's
best
what
friends?
she wears when she goes out in the country.
No, she's not
Bloody
trying,
hell.
is she? I mean,
No.
she's not trying, really.
Snoopy joggers. Right. Now this is good. Let's go back to one of Love Dev's topics.
Yay!
I have no idea what's happening.
If anybody's watching, please share the link, join in, like, comment. We're
Explain
going to go back
to
Love
somebody you
Dev's
share the
topic.
link with.
When I sit in my car sometimes, I feel like I have shrunk or someone has moved my rear view mirror.
I feel the same. Yeah.
Of course you do. Of course you do. You feel the same. You're both mad.
Love Dev.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I've been in my car many times. I've sat in the car and gone, have I actually shrunk? So I'm like this. And no one else has been in my car.
What are the chances of two people thinking that? With these two people, quite high. Well, it's like Harriet, and you have the same feelings. When you get in
I was like, fucking out. I am behind myself, but then it turned out I'd put my wing mirror in, and it was facing me and not behind.
Was he looking through the wrong mirror, Harriet?
No, it was just in.
There's two people that shouldn't really be on the road.
It took me 7 tests. It took me.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise. That wouldn't surprise anybody. To be honest.
7 time lucky. That's what they say.
7th time lucky.
Jonathan,
Isn't that a cut-off point where they just go, "You've failed too many times. You can never drive." But they just go, "No." Sorry, Harriet. I'm so sorry. You're in charge.
Do you have any problems like that when you sit in your car, or
problems like what?
Seeing yourself.
Seeing a shrunk. To be honest, I have a push bike with a wicker basket on it, like Miss Marple. I do, because there's nothing like a wicker basket.
Oh, look. That's a good
it's that moment he said wicker basket.
How fabulous.
That was wicker basket.
You just froze, you went.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I have no idea what was going on.
Last 10 minutes, guys. Any questions for the comics? We're going to go on. We'll move on to Harriet.
Bother, we're idiots.
Sake.
Why would you ask us anything? We're clearly
Harriet,
mental.
would you rather have a baby for a head or a head for a baby?
What?
That's a well-known question, that, though.
That's a well-known.
How is that a well-known question?
I mean, it is. I've heard that from somewhere. I'm sure of it. I don't want to take credit for that.
Was it your Drugs Anonymous group?
Yeah. Pardon?
Inside your head, love. That's where you've heard that. You've heard that from inside your head.
Inside my baby head.
What would you prefer? A baby for a head or a head for a baby?
Well, if you think about it, a baby for a head would be a full-on baby on your neck. So that's weird. So
and you'd be like that all the time.
Exactly. And it would be like it was steering the rest of your body.
What's that film with the baby? Film with the baby on the man's shoulders. Is it Mad Max or something weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max, the original. Thunderdome.
That's it.
Men in Black. Is it Men in Black?
With
Men in Black.
And also there's Men in Black. Yeah. We do, Kirsty. Kirsty, these are our questions, Kirsty. They're our brains that you are getting an insight into. And when I say our, in their brains, theirs.
Yeah, but
baby for a head or head for a baby?
Baby for a head.
That's what you choose?
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. Sorry,
Head for a baby.
Head for a baby.
Gone.
Oh, we're gonna keep losing Jonathan here. Love Dev.
I'll have a head for a baby.
What would you have?
Yeah.
I'd have a head for a baby.
Head for a baby. Great. So we're all carrying around fucking heads as children, which is fantastic.
What would you have, Karis?
No.
I would do the same. Yeah, because
Am I back? Am I here?
You are. And you just keep coming in. If you could be in any film, what would it be and why?
Oh, good question.
Harriet, any film.
Home Alone, so I could keep him company.
Oh, that's nice.
Would you help him?
Psychopath.
Would you help him, Harriet?
Yeah, of course, I'd love that.
Have loads of fucking experiments going on. Love Dev, what film?
Back to the Future.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, as Marty or Doc?
Marty.
Cool.
I don't want to be
Jonathan,
another mad scientist.
Dangerous liaisons, big dresses, opera houses, wigs, darling. That's all I'm after. Big dresses, embroidery, chandelier, surfer. Also, head for a baby. Head for a baby. What's wrong with you people?
Do you need to do that, or does it need to be? I think if it was a replica, it'd be quite funny.
That's a fair question, Kirsty. Look who's on board now, Kirsty. You're saying me.
I think they just resigned themselves to the fact that it's either fucking join in or do shit. You don't know what's going on here. This is good. If you're still watching, please share the links so we can get some more views. We got a couple more topics. We got a few more minutes left. So send in your questions if you have any or live comments. Let's go back to here you go.
For a baby, clearly.
Love Dev.
Yes.
Love Dev auditioned for Britain's Got Talent in 2017.
I did. I didn't want to do it at first, you know. They kept bothering me. Say that again, sorry?
Who made you do it?
I did it in early 2016, November time.
Yeah.
But then I had to go back in January.
Did you become famous, darling?
Well, I did the audition and I got 4 yeses.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I got through it and I got really nice compliments from David Williams.
Yeah.
And Amanda Holden.
He likes
it. But then they do the deliberation round, and then what happened was I got really ill. I got man flu.
Oh no!
So,
I mean, nowadays that looks even worse than it did a while ago, didn't it?
Exactly. So I couldn't make it to the deliberation round, and then they sent me an email a week later saying I didn't make it through.
Oh, and you never thought about doing it again?
No, I don't think I would. But it's a good experience. Really weird. Really weird.
Yeah, Jonathan, not the bearded lady in The Greatest Showman.
Very good point. I did do bearded lady in Pride last year, and I looked so like her. I've got
brilliant.
I look. Oh my god, I did. Yeah. Would I be rather chased by 10 ducks?
Here we go. Now we've got the gist of the viewers.
Yeah.
Would you rather be chased by 10 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Harriet, this has got you written all over it. Would you rather be chased by 10 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
Without a doubt, 10 duck-sized horses.
Correct answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like a puppy shower, doesn't it?
Yeah. You can have them as pets. They're like, you can make a lot of money out of them. They're like, you have little teacup pigs. These would just be like little teacup duck horses. Yeah. So they have beaks, but are horses.
Yeah.
Or are they just horses?
No, they're duck size. They're not duck shape.
I love the fact it's not a straight yes or no or one or the other answer. You then fuck it. What kind of duck is it? Is it got a beak? Do I have to feed it?
It's a wellard.
Zoe.
Zoe's wrong. Zoe, you got a death wish.
Yeah, and who's got the orange sauce for that size of duck? Nobody.
So, going back, Love Dev auditioned for Britain's Got Talent 2017. We'll not do it again. Is that the only thing you've auditioned for, Love Dev?
Yes, it is.
Harriet, have you ever auditioned for anything?
Oh, well, many years ago.
Oh, great story.
Yeah.
It's already a great story.
I went for this guy I worked with was auditioning for Big Brother, and I went for it. And I went with him, and I got in the trial house. I lived in the trial house, And I was told to pack my bag for 3 months because I was going to go in after the trial house. But then they said I was racist, right?
What?
What did you say?
Well, in the trial house, right, I won a task, and this stupid bastard, right, I won all this booze because we were testing out all the tasks. I won all this booze, and then this French guy just snatched the wine out of my hands, and he goes, "I'll be having this because I am French." And I said, "Shut the fuck up, Pepe Le Pew." And I got into trouble. They said I was.
No, that's call and response. He brought that on. That I'm French. You win Pepe Le Pew, I think.
Yeah, I'm a massive Big Brother fan, and I would have loved to have seen you in it. I'm like, I can't believe I didn't know that story. That's hilarious.
I was in because it was supposed to be the last year on Channel 4, and I was in with Sam Pepper, and Sam Pepper went in the year after.
Oh my God! Can you imagine what you'd have been like in Big Brother? It would have
awful.
No, you'd have been marvelous. You'd have been brilliant. You'd have been must-see television. We'd all have watched it again instead of the four of us that did.
Brother, but I've always known you were a racist bitch. So I just get in. Jonathan, have you ever auditioned for anything?
Yes. Well, I was just really bad at auditioning because I didn't have the right grovelly attitude. I auditioned for all kinds. I tried to be an actor for a while, but I got really sick of people being horrible to you, and so I'd just say, "I get it. You don't want me. Don't be horrible to me. Fucking just tell me you don't want me. I'm all right with it." I remember one particular audition where I auditioned for this BBC thing, and I was clearly too old for it. I mean, everybody else was like 17 and I was about 27, and although of course because of this I looked 17. Fuck off. And anyway, so we're in this audition, and of course all these kids are like, they're bouncing around, they're all really sweet, and this guy was horrible to us. He was just so rude. "I told you to stand over there." And eventually I just went, "I am so sorry that your career has brought you here to where you do not wish to be, but kindly don't talk to me like that." And funnily enough, I didn't get the job. I just did it. I was terrible for doing that. Like, people would just go, "Well, can you just? I think you're just bad at." One person said to me, "I think you're very bad. Just very bad. You shouldn't be in show business." And I said, "Whilst I appreciate you don't have to employ me. You can fuck off with your opinion of my life." You know what? That kind of reputation gets around, and you know what? Auditions started to become quite scarce on the ground. Yeah. I was never good at auditions.
Like, I auditioned for things like Pop Idol.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Can you sing, Harris Nelms?
I got down to the finals. You remember one year they did Pop Stars, and then just after they did Soap Stars, where they were looking for a family for Emmerdale.
Yeah.
I got down to the finals of that, and the only reason I didn't go through was I wasn't old enough to be a mum, and I wasn't young enough to be a daughter. So they're like,
"But you could sing. You can sing. You could sing enough to be a pop star."
Well, she keeps following Ritora.
Yeah, that was acting. So yeah, it's just a few dabbly bits. Big Brother, I've got through to the last selection bit about 3 times.
David Harris.
Oh no!
And what's it? First dates. They keep. They try and get me on.
You know they don't ask me.
It's the worst thing in the world, right? They're like, "Yes, we want you on the next series," and then they can't find anybody.
Oh no!
Which is no surprise because I've known that for fucking 10 years. Is there any music that might surprise you to know? So just quickly, 1-word answer on this, and then we'll go to your facts, and then we've got to wind the show up. Harriet, is there any music you listen to that would surprise us?
I like Cat Stevens because my mum used to listen to it.
Great 1-word answer.
Yeah.
Best 1-word answer. Best ever 1-word. Rammstein. I know.
That is surprising.
Love Death.
I listen to anything.
Dirty slut music, slut you.
Porno music.
I love Death.
What about you, Chris? What about you, darling?
Me? Oh, I don't know. I listen to
surprising music.
I listen to anything like heavy metal. Depends what fucking mood I'm in. Class. I love musicals. I mean, that wouldn't be a surprise to anybody because I
love anything. It's kind of.
Right. Anyway, we're going to go back onto your facts. before we leave tonight's broadcast. So if you're still watching, also share the link so we can get more viewers. That'd be lovely. Donate if you can afford to. That would be fabulous. Just a cup of coffee or a little cake or anything. The price off. So who walked past Les Dennis in the street and they gave each other the nod? Now I don't know the answer to any of these questions.
So presumably you're going to wait like we did last week.
Yeah.
While Love Dev realizes it's not going to be answered separately.
Right. So who was this? Who did the nod to Les Dennis? Who is it?
Who do you think it was?
Love Dev?
Yes, it was me.
Hey.
Yeah, I saw him in Edinburgh Fringe. Was on some street, back off of some street, and I looked at him and thought, "Oh, it's Les Dennis," and then he saw me and we went.
But yeah, okay, that's the nod. Because the nod in my book is something completely different.
Oh, you mean that kind of?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See you at my hotel later.
Love Dev. Were we up in Edinburgh together where you really fucked up that man's gig?
Yes.
What did you do?
Oh my god! Well, we were really drunk, weren't we?
Save this till next week because we're nearly
we'll save it. We'll save that story.
Do this. Tell us this story next week.
We will. It's a funny story.
Completely destroyed somebody else's career. Love Dev.
Massive thank you to everybody that's donated so far. So the next fact was who got fired from a job because they directed a cow into their primary school teacher's Jeep. Now I'm thinking that the last one mentioned Masonic Lodge, and I know for a fact Harriet would never be allowed in a Masonic Lodge.
I wasn't allowed.
So I think this one possibly could be Harriet's, because this is the kind of shit Harriet does.
Well,
there's something really funny as well. That the teacher whose Jeep I directed the cow into was the same teacher that cracked her head open on the sink.
I know. When you said it, I was like, "This is really weird."
She'd been wearing a squid
while she's bringing a cow in.
Yeah,
I was bringing the cow.
Yeah, you were talking to Jonathan. Jonathan, obviously the last one's yours.
One of these things is not like the other one. Yes, it's actually Steve Wilton who's watching tonight. The guy who's watching, he sent me a thing that apparently in his Masonic Lodge in London, he met somebody who was at university with me who said he lived a couple of doors down from me in the college, and he continually was disturbed because I continually had parties during my first year at university, and people kept getting the window. I know, I'm shocked. And they just kept getting the window wrong. Apparently, I told them the wrong number along from the left or something, and so he continually being woken up by people knocking on his window to say, "Is this where the party is?" And he got used to it. No, it fucking isn't. It's 3 windows down, and it apparently just happened all year to him, and I had no idea because I'm an idiot.
We just got to think his uni life would have been so much shitter if that hadn't happened to him.
I know. I imagine he would never have lost his virginity or anything.
Right. Anyway, that's it. We're done. Fucking weirdo. I love it. I love it. I love it. I come out of this not knowing quite what's gone on. And it really cheers me up the rest of the week. Thank you very much for all those that have been watching. Share the link after the fact because people can still view it. Thank you to Love Dev, Jonathan, and Harriet. Thank you for joining us. Join us again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.